NFC West champs. San Francisco 49ers. Fourth time in 5 years.
Damn. I mean, is business good over there?
Right now, it's really good.
Number 1 seed after you went and kicked Philly's ass. Then you're watching last night, Jordan Love. I'm thinking they're about to do something. And is it Danny DeVito? Is that his son, uncle, whatever? But DeVito pulls it out, and now the Niners are not only the number 1 seed, they're the first team to clinch a playoff spot. I've come down this road, Steiny. I'm talking about Kyle, but damn, Lynch and they're in their bag, as you like to say.
I actually hate saying that,
but
no, I can't stand that. It's
everything you hate, I like. So that's why I said that to piss you off early. Good morning.
Why would you want to do that? Now, I know.
We've been too friendly the last couple of days.
I came in here, and I don't know if you remember, but this will be the third straight show that I start with something positive. I don't believe in waiting until January 1st to make a New Year's resolution.
Oh.
No reason you can't start today.
But positivity is longer than 10 minutes or a block. You need it throughout the day.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you. You know, you come out good, and then you fade, and then you get evil.
Well, just don't try to one-up me.
No, never.
Don't try to one-up me when I'm in.
It's a party for the Niner fans right now. Tell me I'm lying. Business is good.
But the best parties are February parties.
I'm gonna give you a 2.
No, they are. They are.
But you gotta Steiny, you gotta focus on the now. And the now is you got the number 1 seed, you clinch, you look like the best team in the league, but you're right. You gotta do it. You want to Operation Vegas. How about that?
My question to 49er fans is, so you've won the West 4 out of the last 5 years. Do Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, have they just essentially at this point proven that they ensure a certain amount of success? They got here 7 years ago, and for the first 2 years, they were bad.
Yeah.
Rebuilding. Since then, 4 out of 5 years, they've won the division. And when I look at a team that's got prolonged success, there's always a reason why. So 5 years is a pretty, and the other thing is that the year they didn't make it was in the middle of that. So in other words, they've been successful for 4 out of the last 5 years. Do you think Shanahan and Lynch essentially ensure, you know what, they're going to be good for another 5 years?
I do. And
so you have that, like you have right now, you have confidence in Kyle Shanahan and Lynch that they've basically built a team here that is, like the Steelers.
Or what about a Warrior run? I feel like they're in the midst of what the Warriors did starting in 15.
Well, that's fair.
I mean that.
But the only thing is people are going to say, well, they haven't won it yet.
Okay,
and I know Pittsburgh's won it too. I just mean,
you survived the debacle that was Trey Lance.
Well, this is their debacle.
Yeah, no doubt. But what did they do? We can make an argument that it's gotten better. Like that, you know what I mean? No shade at Trey, Steiny. Who does that? Sometimes that costs people their jobs. This team has got a franchise quarterback because they drafted him. I don't care where, but they had the wherewithal to know, or Kyle had the vision to know that Brock Purdy could be Magic Johnson to this offense and team. So, Steiny, I'm just saying that's a big part of it. Not just the Super Bowl trips and the multiple NFC championship trips. Like, okay, yeah, they haven't got it done, but damn, when you're heartbroken, it's at the last moment most of the time. So when you say 5 years, Steiny, who else would you want? Then, oh, by the way, I know it's early. You go get something when you need it. You go get a McCaffrey. Like, it's never status quo. You go get a Chase Young. Like, your GM is in it to win it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how Niner fans cannot feel like you wouldn't want to be in a different place right now.
I guess I'm just kind of looking around and the Warriors, for example. Do you believe that the Warriors are going to have success after the Steph Curry era simply because Joe Lacob's the owner and at this point Mike Dunleavy's the GM?
Wow.
They're great at their jobs and they are competitive and they alone give you hope that, you know what, we're going to be fine after the Steph Curry era. So I was wondering If you're a 49er fan, what are you most confident in? You've won the fourth division title in 5 years. And I guess my question is, do you feel like that's the way it's going to be for a while? Because I've always talked about this, Goo, and you and I disagree a little bit on it, but my feeling is you've just won the division 4 out of 5 years. Sure, you want to, at some point, kick the door in and win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. We get that. But if they don't do it this year, they come back next year and win the division, then that's 5 out of 6. My point is if do you think the 49ers are going to continue to knock on the door, winning division titles like the next 4 or 5 years? And the reason I'm going 4 or 5 years is because that makes it 10 in general. Then that would make it a 10-year, essentially great run for the Niners. But I'm also using 4 or 5 years down the line to exclude Purdy and away from the conversation.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
no doubt.
if Purdy were under contract, maybe the answer would be Brock Purdy. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are 49er fans out there who are saying, let me tell you why this team's going to be good for a while. Yeah, Kyle and Lynch, but we got our quarterback and we got a system. And even if we have to lose a skill player or two because we have to pay the quarterback in 2 or 3 years, we're still going to be the team in the NFC West for the foreseeable future. What would give you that? What's the thing that gives you the most confidence in that?
Is Kyle Shanahan's system.
Okay.
The system that took Jimmy Garoppolo to great heights. They didn't get it done. You didn't ask that. But Jimmy Garoppolo, look at his win-loss record, Super Bowl, multiple playoff visits under the tutelage of Kyle. Here comes insert Brock Purdy. Look at what he is. So let's just say if he were to vanish and it was next man up, like I believe until I see it or I don't see it, that Sam Darnold could excel because of the expertise of Kyle Shanahan. So Steiny, that is my number one component of why this team is where it's at and why they can afford a loss or two if it were to happen. But I do proceed with caution because when they were without Debo and Trent, and you didn't ask this, they look different, right? They lost 3 games. So I got to be careful. But when I watch NFL football and teams that are so stale and uncreative and nobody's in motion, there's no threat of the Debo Sam, nothing. The way that the Niners attacked the middle of the field with what they have, and it was pre-McCaffrey and it was pre-Brock Purdy, that has me, if I were a Niner fan like Steiny, this dude could take the Flintstones and create an offense. That's why I'm drunk, as Beyonce say, in love with the way that Kyle calls an offense.
I have more confidence, believe it or not, in...
Give it to me.
Well, I'm comparing the Warriors a little bit, and I've talked about this.
I didn't even answer you, sorry.
I've talked about this a lot about the Warriors, and it's this. I feel like there's a large segment of Warrior fans who feel like because Joe Lacob is so determined and that Joe Lacob is so competitive and Joe Lacob has such a vast asset of money to have more than any other owners, I feel like there are a lot of Warrior fans out there that say we're going to be fine from 2025 to 2030.
See, I don't feel that way.
Well, that would be a change. That would be a change because I thought in Joe we trust, and he's light years, and he's won 4 titles.
When you have Steph Curry,
okay, so
and he inherited Steph Curry, and that's no shade at Joe.
Well, it is shade at Joe because see now I got to go the other way on this because so what you're saying is you don't believe that Joe Lacob is guaranteed to have success after Steph Curry.
I need to elaborate real quick. I'm watching the status of the team currently, and I expect Joe to make a move at some point, Steiny. I really do. And I think it would be the right thing for the team. But if he decides that he's not going to go that route, that makes me, okay, who I think Joe is, that would take a hit. And Mike Dunleavy, this is his first crack at it, Steiny. He doesn't have the ledger and the success of Bob Myers, who now is, on TV doing things with ESPN. So he's unproven. Mike Dunleavy, and we love Mike. I'm not saying he can't do it, but Steiny, he's new to the game. If Myers was under the helm, you know what I mean? I would be like, that would breed more confidence for me.
888-957-9570 is the number. The Niners have won their 4th NFC West in division title in 5 years.
Damn.
My question to 49er fans is, what's the thing that makes you most hopeful about this thing continuing? If you think that this team is getting started on a run, or you think that we're in the middle of another 4 or 5 year run with it, why? Why do you think that? What's the reason you think that the Niners will or won't have staying power? And I guess that's the question.
What's yours?
To my way of thinking, they've won 4 out of 5 NFC West. That's almost 4 out of 5 playoff trips. Oh, that's right. They didn't win the division off. So 4 to 5 years are going to the playoffs. Thank you, Evan. My bad. 4 out of 5 years they've gone to the playoffs. How many years did they win the division? Twice. 2 division titles, 4 playoff appearances.
2019 and this year.
Gotcha. And so, how you feeling about how much longer it's going to last? I mean, this 5-year run is what I'm getting at. It's pretty unique.